It's Hey Coach with Tim Simpson, ReChard Collins, and Jamal Mondaine. Three coaches and friends talk about sports, life, and everything in between.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Good.
You already know what time it is. It is time for the Hey Coach podcast. I'm your boy, Coach T. We got my main man, Jay Mondaine, rock and rolling with us, messing with his camera a little bit. And of course, we got ReChard Collins. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
How's the moving going?
Yeah. I got that.
You want to talk about that?
Ooh. Used to the military, man. I told you. Take the pictures off the wall.
Military, all you do is make one phone call. They had your whole house packed up and ready to go. No problems. All you do is take the pictures off the wall. But hey, I know you got a story, right? Because didn't you have an issue with some trash?
Yeah, my dad told me to take the trash out when we left Hawaii. He told me before school, he said, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to take this trash out." I was like, "Okay." We had a month-block leave. We left Hawaii. Went to Houston. Flew from Houston to New York. From New York to Germany. They brought our household goods. My dad arrived at household goods. When I walked from school, he pointed to the trash can and said, "What is this?" I'm like, "I don't know." He says, "The trash that I told you to take out a month ago." They brought it to Germany. I'll go take this damn trash out like I told you. They brought the trash. He's like, "Yeah,
They pack up everything.
They put everything. Take the pictures off the wall. That's it. You got any what they call family heirlooms? You got any family heirlooms, and they want you to take care of that yourself." But
I don't know. Jay, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. Been a bittersweet day for sports betting. Bittersweet day for sports betting, but I'm good, man. Just ready to do the show.
Hey, look, man. I want to tell everybody I'm gonna need y'all's thoughts and prayers for me at this show. You know, co-hosting with these gentlemen because they are highly depressed individuals right now with things going on with sports and teams and of that nature. So, I mean, ReChard's usually depressed anyways because he's a Raiders fan. And Kentucky, you know, they do what they do, and then they just whatever. But I'm gonna need y'all thoughts and prayers.
Let's go. We put people in the NBA and they flourish after that. Except for Anthony Davis.
He is an NBA champion, though.
He is a champ. You gotta when you talk about AD, you gotta call him champ.
Yeah,
and you're right.
Put a little spec on that name.
And you're right.
Put a little spec on that name.
You're right. Just like HOF.
Right, so let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit of NFL news here. Let's talk about some scores and things that are going on around the league. We've had some pretty decent games that have been going on since Thursday. Thursday night matchup was the Panthers and Falcons, if I'm correct. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's
Panthers and the Falcons, which the Panthers pulled that game out 25-15. You guys have any thoughts on that game? You just want to quit skipping it. Jay.
Thursday night games got to be the worst games, man. I don't know. I feel bad for Amazon for paying that money for those games. But they don't get a good game. They never get a good game, man.
But you know what's so crazy? And since we play fantasy, we locked in.
Right.
I mean, I'm definitely speaking for myself. I'm locked in, knowing I can't switch that joint out. I'll be like,
man, right?
Especially if you got somebody playing, you just got to sit and take it. You got to sit there.
I'm like, all right.
I got to watch.
I ain't
13
never seen this commercial before.
I got to watch 13 to 10 tonight, Thursday night. I gotta watch 6 field goals. Yeah, if you ain't got a kicker, listen, anybody that want to bet on these games, if you do DraftKings, any of that, get whoever playing, get their defense and they kicker. You straight.
There you go.
You ain't getting no offense.
Those are
Yeah.
words to
Hey,
live
that's
by, right?
funny. He said the defense and the kicker. You good?
You're straight.
But it's true though.
No, that's funny that they
Thursday
put
night
it like
games
that.
have been
I'm like,
horrible.
yeah, the matchups. I don't know how far in advance are they making the schedule, or they're basing off these teams being, like this will be a good, good game or what? But it's NFL, man. It's a roller coaster, man.
Yeah, NFL, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on with this season. I mean, just to see some of these quarterbacks and teams that are struggling that you just wouldn't think that they would be struggling. You wouldn't think Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers would be struggling. You would think that Tom Brady and the Buccaneers would be struggling. You really wouldn't think Russell Wilson with that Denver team would be struggling. But then again, you wouldn't expect the Giants to be playing how they've been playing, the Jets to be playing how they've been playing. You know what I'm saying? Some of these teams, I mean, it's just crazy. And
Minnesota with the record that they got,
that's another one.
Like, whoa.
In Minnesota, they've been flirting with being a decent team for quite a few years. But the simple fact is the way they're playing right now, the way Kirk Cousins got them playing, and the way the defense is playing, I feel like I'm in like an all Madden league right now where somebody just get the team and just because they got good skills on the stick, that team is winning. This is what this NFL season feels like.
Right. Hey, let me go cut this food off. My fault, y'all.
Just and this is what we do on the Hey Coach podcast.
live episodes. That's shit. But no, other NFL news, obviously games we got playing today. It was some upsets, some big wins, huge wins. I'm sure you're going to run down the games and get our thoughts on them. But, it's NFL. Every week is going to be some exciting games, some heartbreakers, some upsets. So it's just another good weekend of football, I guess, for most fans.
Yeah, like I said, like you said, you definitely right. I'm going to run down these games. Number one, the early morning game this morning was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks. That game ended 21-16 in favor of the Buccaneers. Was there really any surprises there?
Yes. I told you. I started my day off not great. I rolled out of bed losing a parlay. That game, it was. I don't know. You don't know what they expect from Tampa Bay, but you don't want to count them out because they got Brady. They got weapons, but you just wonder why they haven't been putting it together. So maybe this is a game where they get it going. I mean, they still in a terrible division at 500. They still the best team in the NFC South, so they can make a run and still get a playoff game, a home playoff game, believe it or not. So, I don't know.
The Buccaneers receiving core is like Green Bay's. Young, dropping passes. You don't know the names.
Oh, Buccaneers, they got.
When you hear,
Tampa Bay got Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Godwin. Who you talking about?
I'm talking about the younger one. Like it'll be just a random cat he'll throw. I'll be like, I don't even know who Buddy is.
Oh,
and then I forget that Julio's even. I'll be like,
he got a touchdown today. Yeah.
Well, but Julio's been hurt though, and he's been out. He had a pretty big reception today. For a touchdown.
Yep.
And he looked good. So I mean, what I could say about Tampa Bay is that they've had a lot of injuries. The offensive line has not been whole. They've been having to patch that offensive line, pretty much the whole season. So you got that problem.
Yeah.
And then, like we alluded to, Julio was out for injury. I could have sworn Mike Evans was out for injury for a little bit. I know you got suspended for a game or two.
Or was it just suspension? I can't remember. Maybe it was just suspension for Mike Evans.
Yeah, like I said, I thought he might have been hurt, but I know definitely he was out for suspension.
The suspension was for the push in the game, right?
That was early season, like week 1, week 2.
Okay.
But yeah, Julio's been out. I know that because he was on my fantasy team. So
Right.
I knew he was. So I was happy to see him back. I think I still got him on there. I don't know. I might have cut him. But anyways, no. So like for them, I think for the Buccaneers, as horrible as their season has looked so far, with some of these teams, like we talked about, like we alluded to with Green Bay, which I'm gonna get on that. I'm about to get on that game with them and the Cowboys here in a little bit. But I think the Buccaneers are sitting better than Green Bay because with Buccaneers it's just injuries. Green Bay, they're dysfunctional.
Yeah,
And
they're just not good.
Yeah, I think they can outplay. I think they still outplay some teams, but I just don't know if it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be a fix for them this season, and they're actually going to be able to do anything. So I'm not sure. What do you think about that, ReChard?
I go with you with the Bucks with the injuries because, like Jay said, you got Julio, you got Mike Evans. Oh, the tight end I don't know anymore, and then a couple of the little slot receivers. I like the way Leonard Fournette's career has gone well past my expectation of what he was going to do. I did not think because once, and this is about to be a throwback. Once Alabama ate him up at LSU when they played that game, I'm like, they didn't overhype this dude. I said they done overhyped him. I'm like, he's gonna get to the league and not be nothing. Great rookie year, and then he's maintained, and then started balling, man. And it's his career. I did not think it was gonna be like that. What was the other team? Green Bay.
Yeah,
Green Bay is just they're not on the same page. But I will fault Aaron Rodgers for some of that. Don't be a teammate that's headed to the hall. You can walk away tomorrow, you're headed to a hall. I would hate to be a rookie in Green Bay, and this dude's kind of looking at me kind of sideways. He may not say nothing, but you ain't really got faith in me. You just kind of throwing the ball. And, yeah, I need to be catching it, but, damn, dude, you're not working out with us in the summertime. We ain't putting in no extra work. I just feel that Aaron Rodgers is a product of Brett Favre. That's all he is. He's the same thing. You're not trying to help nobody on you. Is it a team or is it me? You're not trying to help nobody. Number wide receivers not taking your position. You a quarterback. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
You're the quarterback.
Yeah,
You don't ever hear buddy because Green Bay better wake up because that's y'all's quarterback.
Yeah.
Because all you're achieving quarterbacks in college football right now, which one you about to go get? Which one? I mean, you can only talk about Young from Bama for some. Bama ain't even going to the playoffs.
When's the last time that happened? We'll get it.
Simpson, where they gonna be at?
Yeah.
So you got these, but see, you get these quarterbacks just like these point guards in basketball, overhyped, and they believe in the hype, and then they don't produce, man. Yeah. Like Aaron Rodgers at this stage of his career, he could have had them boys. Aaron from California, right? He could have took them boys out to California. Let's just get us Thursday through Sunday, Thursday through Monday. Let me show you some love. Put y'all up in a hotel. Let's go to my old high school football field. They're still the same, and let's go work out. You ain't do that.
No.
You ain't got no chemistry. I ain't play football like that. Basketball, you can kind of develop chemistry. You just kind of talk real quick, like, "Hey, man, he double teaming you. Like, get the ball up. I'll get it to you. Set a pick. Beat him off the dribble. I'm the quarterback. Hey, they can cover three. What they? You gotta pay attention. You got a receiver that do. Watching Devontae Adams run routes today was like, how y'all not just really locking this dude up? He steady was catching whatever he wanted. Like that's the only person we got. You can only run Jacob so much.
Yeah, I mean it's true. I mean,
but Brady, he's a professional. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But he'll be rated his players. He's done it. It don't even be no random. He always do it on a national game, a Monday night, Sunday night, or Thursday night. Aaron know where them damn cameras is on, man. Everybody ain't got a fire stick and doing stuff like that where they just watch the Bucks today. It's always a main freaking game, and he going off. I'm like, that's the true Brady right there.
Hey, he want his players to know that I'm gonna talk about you while your family watching.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now you're gonna have to go home and explain that to little Johnny and little.
Well, what did he say? What did he say to you?
Daddy, why was he going off on you on the
Tom catching time, man. I don't catch them cats, noon on those Sunday where ain't nobody focused on the Bucks, man. I'm catching them.
No.
Night, Monday night, and Thursday night. That's what Tom Brady.
Let's get a couple of these other games. I don't really want to talk about the Titans and the Broncos. I'm gonna tell you a game that kind of surprised me as far as the scoring, and that was I knew this team could put up some points, but I just thought it'd be a little closer game. That was the Dolphins and the Browns, 39-17. Dolphins, slapped the taste out of.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they slapped them with that. They hit him with the Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? They just. They just slapped him with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jay, you were watching that game, right?
Yeah, so I caught some of that game. The Dolphins been scoring points all year though. With Tua healthy, games Tua have been healthy. I mean, they 7-0 now with Tua. They average about 28, 29 a game anyway. So I'm not surprised by it. They played at home. The Browns, they just waiting for Deshaun Watson to come back, man. I don't know what they're gonna look like when they get Deshaun, but the Dolphins just got too many weapons. I mean, with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and now they got a running back over there. They got Raheem Mostert from San Francisco. Like, they just got more weapons. They just keep getting more weapons for Tua to play around with. So they putting up numbers. Like, if you're gonna beat them, you gotta basically go to a shootout with them. And if you ain't got the weapons they got, you're in trouble. They've been looking good though.
That was
good. What you got, ReChard?
No, I didn't see the game, but I have a friend that he's a Dolphins fan. He'll hit me on a Tuesday like, yeah, we got the Browns. I can't wait to give him the penalty. Like, it's Tuesday, bro. What are you doing? Like, but he's got a good team now, though. You know what I'm saying? This team got something to cheer about, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, what? Like, yeah. Is it that Tua playing the way that they wanted him to, or is Tua playing above his means?
I think with the offense he got, I think they're putting together great game plans for him, and he's just sticking to it. That's a lot of what you got to do in football. Like, if they put together a game plan for you, just do what they put together and see what the results are. If it don't work, you make the adjustment. Exactly. So
don't try to be a hero. Yeah,
I think the biggest thing, like even with Dallas, when when Dak went out and they talking about Cooper Rush, like all he did was stick to the game plan.
Yep.
Like, we got a good defense. We got a great defense. We got good running backs.
Yep.
Just don't lose games. Stick to the game.
Don't lose games. Right.
Do what you got to do. We'll take our calculated risk. I think that's what Tua does. Tua takes his calculated risk because he can throw the ball and he's accurate. But we don't need you to save us every week.
I'm kind of glad to see Tua just having like the success that he is having. You know, we saw a carousel of quarterbacks from Alabama just, go through. Like, half the people, ain't nobody watching Maryland football, but his brother played for Maryland. And it's crazy. Every time I see him, I'll be like, that's right. He's not there. And that's how these overstacked teams they get. I know this wasn't the topic. Like, University of Texas is about to have a real problem when Arch gets on campus. A real problem. He's either going to have to be that man or them 2 5-stars that's in front of him. Somebody got to pull the trigger and get up out of there.
Right.
Are 2 of y'all going to bury Arch Manning on the bench? He got a red shirt?
Got it. Anyway. But no, that was a great game. Like I said, I knew Miami could put up points. I just I don't know. I guess maybe I was thinking about Cleveland's defense a little. I guess I was giving them a little too much credit. They've got a good defense.
They've got it.
But you know what I'm saying? It's just like I just thought they would slow them down a little bit. But like what Jay said, I think what they're doing with Tua is great because they're not overcomplicating things for him. He's doing what they're asking him to do. Even if he gets himself in a little bit of trouble, he's athletic enough and he's intelligent enough,
right?
To try to make the right read and get out of that trouble. He's just not. And they're playing phenomenal. I mean that team is a very scary team. Okay, before we move on to the next game, I'm gonna ask you both this question. With some of the teams that have made their moves here lately, we talk about the Dolphins. San Francisco is another good team. With some of the teams that made their moves, who right now do you think has made the best moves and have the best shot at making a deep run in the playoffs? Jay, we'll start with you.
I think the easy answer is San Francisco, right?
Damn, he took my answer.
I'm not going to use them. I'm going to let you dissect them. I said that made it easier. Yeah. So teams that made moves, you talking about mid-season or just overall, like what they got?
I would say overall. Let's take from the offseason to mid-season right now.
Offseason, who can make a run? I mean, I'm going to go with Philly, right? So Philly, they 8-0. They play Monday night. Them getting A.J. Brown opened up everything for Jalen Hurts, right? Because you got Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy wide receiver, but he was young. So you can't really put an offense on their back with two young guys. They got a veteran wide receiver who's used to being number one, who can take double teams, take the top off the defense. And then you got Devontae, who can grow into being a number one receiver on the other side. And they got complementary pieces. They paid for that defense in the offseason. Like, if you want to talk about somebody that put something together in the offseason, because I talked about it in the summer that they was going to win the NFC East. I had them winning a division. I didn't know they were going to clinch the division by Thanksgiving.
Run the table.
It looked like they seriously. Yeah, so I would say Philly is the team that made moves in the offseason. Howie Roseman, GM, and he got these boys probably going to be 9-0 by Tuesday morning. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. What do you got, Richard?
Well, San Fran, it wasn't only the McCaffrey. They've had so many people that are injured that are slowly about to come back into that starting position.
Yeah, they get 8 people coming back tonight. They get 8 players back.
8. Only reason why I know this, my supervisor is a San Francisco 49er fan.
He was all pro
Monday. Yeah. Since Monday, he was like, "Do you even realize who we're about to get?" I'm like, "I don't know your squad like that." He started naming cats. I'm like, "He's with y'all." He was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Hey." Yeah. I didn't know it was 8. I know he mentioned 5. I didn't know it was 8. That's crazy.
And at the beginning of the year, we was talking,
and you missing 8 cat. That's like you a number 1 basketball squad, and you got 4 starters out, and you got 1 starter in the game.
And that division up for grabs, especially with Seattle losing earlier today. That division up for grabs. And earlier, like in the summer, when we was talking about who we thought was good, we was AFC heavy. The AFC gonna be the best conference.
AFC West. Yeah. It was the AFC West.
NFC. If you look at the NFC with Minnesota, with Dallas, even the Eagles, the Giants, San Francisco. Now they about to be healthy. I mean, you got 5 teams. Seattle look good, but you got 5. I would say you got 4 or 5 legit teams that could threat go to the NFC Championship game at least.
The NFC wild card game is going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. Like you want that bye. Like this is the year. If you're in the
you want that.
You don't play nobody.
Hey Jay, it ain't got nothing to do. Hey, it ain't got nothing to do with that cold weather in Green Bay when Aaron was going for that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. These teams are playing. You want that bye that first week.
You do not want to play anybody in the first round of the playoffs. Even if it's Tampa Bay, like all the stuff we talk about Tampa Bay, if they win that division and they get a home game and the Giants, because the Giants ain't gonna win the East, right? Or Dallas, and you got to go to Tampa Bay for a wild card game after winning like 11, 12 games. You got to go play Tampa. You got to go play Tampa.
Right. Right, you had a hell of a year.
Nobody wants that.
You had a hell of a year. One and done. Wow,
Yeah.
Giants have a great season. Go 11-6, 12-5, and then they got to go see Tom Brady in the first round.
Thanks for coming out. Your t-shirt's in the locker room.
Daniel Jones versus Tom Brady in the first round.
Yeah, give me that
that's rough,
participation
bro.
trophy.
Yep.
All right, let's get over to another game. Let's talk about the actually let's go ahead and talk about the Bears Lions game. That game ended in a 31-30 victory for the Lions. Jay, what are some of the things that you saw out of that game? Do you have any good takeaways? I mean, do you think the team's progressing? What do you think?
I got some good and bad. For Bears fans, we can be happy that Justin Fields is looking good. Like, I think he's done it enough to say consistently, like, all right, this kid can play, right? He's breaking records with rushing yards and touchdowns. He's got like 5 straight games with a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. It's like the first player in NFL history since like the 60s. So he's fine. We just make too many stupid mistakes. We had 10 penalties, almost 100 yards in penalties today. Missed the field goal, gave up 31 points. Like, it's all great the Bears can score 30, but if we give up 31 every week, then we got to figure something out. So I watched the game with a bunch of Bears fans. It's a bar here I talk to y'all about. And I go watch the games with. So we talk about what the team looked like. We can watch the game objectively and be like, all right, they not looking good right here, but they look good here. So the positives, I would say, we know how to we can score on anybody. We have good drives. We actually score touchdowns instead of kicking field goals like the old Bears teams used to do.
Okay.
But we can't stop a nosebleed, and we get too many damn penalties. So that's what I got.
Shroud, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, he just described the Raiders.
Oh, they're next.
The Bears. It's funny for being from Illinois. Like, my boys, they diehard Bear fans. So I love to hear the back and forth, because in the group I got Steeler fans, Cowboys, Raiders, a little bit of everybody, and them Bear fans is like gang members. You better not say nothing bad about Fields. The monsters of the Midway is still in the halls of Soldier Field. I mean, you can't say nothing bad there. You can't say nothing bad about him, man. When I say, because I really didn't watch. I was in Ohio State, so. But the buzz of my friends when he got drafted, they're like, we got our quarterback. So everybody feels like we got our quarterback. I'm like, okay, don't throw him in the fire. Don't rush him. Let this dude flourish. I think on the cool, I think the Bears are gonna be all right, man. Like, I think he believes in himself now on an NFL level, not college, because you can go out there and run around in college and be faster than a cat that's not going to be in the league.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You get this left tackle that blocking for you for 3-4 years. He might not be in the league, but he was good at what he did, and he could go with him. But the Bears, to me, just like I think the fan base and the organization realized, like, all right, let's go ahead and turn that corner. Like out of nowhere, how Minnesota did. Let's turn the corner.
Yeah.
Let's not be inconsistent like the Chargers. You'll have a good season, and then you have to play that first game. Then after that, you get bounced. That's all Phillip Rivers did.
Yeah, man, I agree. And with
the Bears, I think they fan base really, like, I know they fan base, dude. I got tons of boys that are Bears fans. I'm looking like, I got a product, man.
We got some here, but like,
he just kills me.
The way he must be a Lions fan. But the thing is, in this NFL, we got the cap space for next year. So the guys I was talking to was like, man, we're gonna be straight next year and all that. It depends on what the GM does with the cap space. In this league, you got to buy offense and draft defense because it's an offensive league.
Buy offense, draft defense. I've never heard of it.
Yes, you got to buy offense.
Yeah, I like that.
Defense.
I like that.
Because the defense you can draft, you can let these guys develop
and build up like Baltimore back in the day.
But if you have your quarterback, you have to buy an offense. We need to get interior.
Tackle.
We need to get some tackles, left and right tackles. Somebody we can buy a left tackle. We got over 120 million in cap space next year.
Tons allowed here.
Buy an offensive tackle, and that's what I'm saying. Buy the offensive line, and we can draft the defense. The Bears do pretty good at draft the defensive players. I ain't tripping on that. But that's what he's happen next year. And I think seeing how Justin Fields play points, like I think it'll be easy to attract offensive players to come play.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, my offense, draft defense. Y'all can coin that.
I like that phrase. I've never ever heard anybody reference that nationally. Wow, that's
if you want, you got to watch the Hey Coach podcast. Man. That's the show.
Exactly. I'm gonna watch it. Hey, I'm gonna watch it tonight, man. When I get there, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah. But I mean, if you use that philosophy, it makes so much more sense. Because I mean, look at what most teams are doing. They're trying to draft offensive players, and then they don't seem to pan out. You know what I'm saying? Why not draft defense and then go out and spend your money on offense? Then you got more money. Yeah, then you got
what the Rams did last year.
Yeah, well, but look, this is what I always wanted to tell somebody. Have you ever noticed during draft day, you'll get the left tackle out of North Carolina and boo the hell out of him because you didn't get this overrated wide receiver out of Clemson who ain't gonna be in the league for 5 years, but buddy from North Carolina, the left tackle that you ain't paying attention to, is gonna be there for 12 years.
He's gonna be Joe Thomas.
And do his thing. Yes. Watch the draft this year. Watch how we gotta take notes. I'm telling you now. Watch the draft this upcoming year.
The draft is in Kansas City this year. I'm going. I'm trying to go.
Okay. Yeah, like watch how they blue cast. Ain't nobody watching the right tackle from Maryland. Unless his family's nobody's watching that dude. And he's gonna be years.
Yeah,
hey, all right, hey, let's hit a couple more games. Let's hit a couple more games, and then we need to take a quick break. But 2 games. There's actually 3 games. The last game I just kind of want to hit on. But this game I want to talk about only because of the significance of the game, and that's the Indianapolis Colts that took on the Vegas.
Fight Jeff Saturdays.
and the reason why it's not because it's the Raiders, it's because of the Colts head coach. Now, there's been some controversies going around that Jeff Saturday was hired as the Colts head coach, and he has no coaching experience whatsoever. But here we are. He coaches. They get their first win. Now, I'm a believer that had absolutely nothing to do with him. The Colts actually. They have a decent team. They
were good last year.
They have a decent team. Yeah. I just think there was just a little too much turmoil going on, and they were just kind of disconnected. And we've all talked about this. We've all hit this point when it comes to like some organizations making coaching changes. Sometimes, you take one guy out, bring a new guy in. The guys just feel a little rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they feel like they can breathe a little bit more, depending on what the dynamic of the situation was. And so they play a little bit more free. I don't think I have 100% confidence that had nothing to do with Jeff Saturday. But I am interested to see what's going to happen with that organization for the rest of the season. Now, the Colts won that game 25-20. I did not watch that game because I had no desire to watch that game. ReChard, did you check out the game?
I watched it.
Okay.
I watched it.
You got the floor, sir.
My input on the Jeff Saturday. I see a lot of people want to make it racial. They skipped over and they kind of bypassed the Rooney Rule, right?
Yeah.
So my thing with you two, Colts are decent. They're not good. I don't want to see a black coach get thrown into that position and then we fire your ass in 8 weeks.
Exactly. Nobody outside of that building.
No problem.
Anyway.
My homeboy Jamal, he owns the Kansas City whoever's, and he just hit me like, "Yo, I don't give a fuck about that Rooney shit. You want to coach him? Yep. Let me call my wife and ask her what's that, babe. Hey, got no problem with that. You get hired to get fired. How many Coach K's is it? That's gonna be there. How many Boeheims is gonna be there? Different sport, but you get where I'm going. Yeah. Mike Tomlin, bro, I didn't think you was gonna do more than 3, and they was gonna get you up out of there. Yeah. I'm glad they didn't put to make it a race. I'm glad they didn't put no brother in that. Eric Bieniemy didn't need to leave Kansas City to go to that.
Right.
Well, to be fair, they already had a couple of black coaches on staff.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne there. Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? The actual Reggie Wayne was it to actually just put this dude in this position as an incoming black coach, and then just nah.
Well, here's before I let you finish. The reason why I would kind of go against that is because if you put Reggie Wayne in that position, he's already been there. He's already there in the organization already, coach.
Higher within. I get that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was my.
They would have wanted that job anyway. Nobody.
No, I don't think anybody really wants that job.
Yeah.
You know, because I think it's just I think a lot of that it might be because of the owner, but I mean the organization, I say the roster itself is not that bad. They were pretty good last year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where the disconnect came from. I don't know, and that's what I'm finding.
Is it Matt
Ryan? A lot of teams this year. A lot of teams is like this year. I don't know what the disconnect from the season before to now is going on with some of these teams. And it's like, yo, this team should definitely be better than what they are right now. Why are they playing like this? So I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Their records should be reversed. A lot of these teams, their records should be reversed. A lot of them,
unless you're the Buccaneers because they're 5-5.
Well, I said a lot. I didn't say everything. I said a lot. But no, going into this game, I'm looking like, all right, because I got Renfro and Waller on my fantasy, like you said, you had old buddy on you. I'm looking like,
yeah.
Oh, this is not gonna be good. I text my boy earlier, first quarter. I said, "Hey, can y'all at least let us score 3 points?" You got to think the Saints blanked us. I said that, and I'm just like, I wasn't even going off of the momentum of Jeff getting there and they're gonna play hard. Raiders just not good, bro. Yeah, you got. I'm gonna go with the generic. We had our starting tight end and our, the slot receiver. Everybody pros though. Everybody getting their check on Monday or Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
What's the problem? That's when you take advantage of your opportunity. These two dudes ain't in there. They ain't do it. We're not good. It's a Seattle hat today, baby. Ain't no Raider hat.
Look, man.
You supporting any of the teams that are not playing right now.
Look, let Kentucky disappoint me in 3 weeks. It's gonna be a wrap for them bastards too.
Go ahead, Jay.
Look, it's a lot of layers to this. Number one, yes, they didn't win because of Jeff Saturday, and they didn't bring him in to coach that team. Like, they have good coordinators. They got good defensive coordinators. The owner brought Jim Irsay brought him in because that's his boy, that's his drinking buddy, whatever. But he brought him in because of the morale of the team was terrible. Like, Frank Reich couldn't get nothing else out of these dudes. Like, Jonathan Taylor looked like he shouldn't even play football this year. And he was an MVP candidate last year. Like, what changed?
Last year. Yeah.
What changed? Like, they got the exact same rosters last year, except they got Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz, which ain't really that much.
Is right.
Matt Ryan won an MVP in this league, so it ain't like he washed either. So I just think they needed a new voice in that locker room. And Jeff Saturday is there because he's a good dude. He knows the Colts organization. The fans will be happy because the fans are like, oh, we know Jeff Saturday. He won a Super Bowl here. And he just galvanized, pat people on the back. He tight with Reggie Wayne. And they won this game because it was just a breath of fresh air in the locker room. We all know how sports is. When we tired of listening to somebody and we get a new reset or breath of fresh air, we play a little bit harder. We want to prove people wrong because all week they was just here like, how the hell the Colts gonna win another game this year, right? Like, I even posted on Facebook, if anybody lose to Jeff Saturday, need to be in the hot seat. Sorry, Josh McDaniel. You need to be in the hot seat.
Oh, he needed to be in at the halftime of the first game when we played San Diego. He needed to be there when I was in LA.
Look, this guy was doing first take 5 days ago, and he just beat you at home. You need to be in the hot seat. So, the Colts that's going to be a fun flight home from Vegas.
They said that either the owner or somebody, Jeff Saturday, was giving them offensive line tips before he even got the job.
Hey, you know what's even crazy? Yes. He was tweeting about the Raiders, like the Raiders sorry. The Raiders can't play no games. He was literally tweeting about the Raiders when he was on ESPN, and then he come to Vegas and beat them.
You know what he's talking about. And he had to give up his fantasy football team.
You can't make
he had to give up his fantasy football team that is a bunch of NFL players in the league or ex-players.
Yeah,
that have fantasy. They're in the fantasy group. He had to turn it over to you'll know the name too. I want to say he was a receiver for the Broncos, but yeah, he had to team over.
Give somebody. So yeah, so with all of that, the Raiders ain't good. I mean, I don't think that Derek Carr gonna be back next year. I don't think he's gonna be back next year. Devontae Adams is looking like you probably made a mistake. I know why he left. He left because he didn't know what Aaron Rodgers was going to do, and he was tired of waiting. He had to go. But they don't look good, man. They don't look like they want to play for Josh McDaniels. It's like every single game they lose, the morale in that locker room just gets worse and worse. Devontae Adams having subliminal messages in pressers. Derek Carr talking about, man, something needs to change, and y'all know who I'm talking about. And Devontae Adams come on TV talking about something new need to change. Somebody need to throw the ball. I ain't gonna tell you who. I ain't gonna point no fingers, but somebody needs to throw me the ball when I'm open. Like
we've blown 3 17-0 leads this year. We've been up by 17 3 times this year.
Take a shot every time they say Jeff Saturday.
And lost. Jeff Saturday.
We'd be blacked out on this show. We did that.
Yeah, we would be.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know if the Packers are taking. We're not even going to talk about the Packers anymore. I'm done talking about them. Even though they did win, they pulled out an overtime victory, 31-28 over the Cowboys. I mean, neither one of the teams are worth really talking about. But yeah, so there's their 15 seconds of fame on our show. Okay. Last team I want to talk about before we take a quick break is a team that is just highly disappointing. And we'll have another segment that we'll tackle that on. But the Rams and the Cardinals. Cardinals won that game 27-17. Their record improved to 4-6, while the Rams went to 3-6.
Yep.
What in the holy mother of Joseph is going on with the Rams? Dude, it's one of those teams. Another one of those teams. I mean, yeah, they lost some people, but it's just like you still have a pretty good defense, and you still have some pretty decent weapons on offense. What is your problem? Jay, go ahead.
Super Bowl hangover. Like that, we can say Super Bowl hangover, right? Everybody, they feel like they won them one, so they can chill. We the champs, so they don't come out and play hard. I wouldn't use that excuse. I would say, if you want to use something tangible, when your best offensive lineman, one of the best left tackles in football retires, and you lose a Von Miller, and your quarterback throws more interceptions and touchdowns, you ain't gonna be good. I mean, I'm used to seeing Matt Stafford. As a Bears fan over here in the NFC North, we already know what Matt Stafford is. Like in the scouting report, it says, stay patient because Matt Stafford will throw you one. That's what they say on defense. Just stay patient. He will throw one to you. Just be ready to catch it. That's Matt Stafford. He will throw one to you. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a case of them getting tired of listening to their coach. I don't know what it is. They got the talent, but teams are not afraid of the Rams. Like it ain't like they was like this daunting team coming in anyway. And plus, everybody extra motivated to beat the champs. Like if you won a championship, everybody want to knock you off. So just extra motivation. I mean, it's crazy you lost to Colt McCoy today, but at home, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, with no Odell and that means Cup got you got to force it to him. Ain't no Von Miller. You don't even hear Big Boy's name like that no more. Was it Aaron Donald?
Yeah,
Aaron
Or
Donald.
is it? I have.
They just double and triple team him. And just dare
You don't see him clocking out with sacks and all that. Hey, I get it. Stafford is the modern Phillip Rivers. That is true, though.
That's disrespectful to Phillip Rivers.
But I get where he's going with that, though. I mean, you're gonna be good enough, get to the playoffs. That's what Phillip used to do. That first game,
At least he did win the Super Bowl, though. At least he did.
taking the whole L. Oh no, Matt. Yeah, he did.
But,
He did, but
yeah.
I mean, sheesh.
I mean, last year they really had a good team, though. They really had a good team. I'm like, oh shoot, they might be able to do it, and they did. They did what they were supposed to. They had a lot to do.
Okay.
He might throw one of us an interception before this game, before the show over with, man. He might throw us a pick. Just keep your eyes open. Keep your hands ready.
Okay, before we take a quick break, let me get your predictions on Monday night's game with the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders are 4-5, and of course the Eagles are undefeated, and they are 8-0. Right now, Philadelphia is favored to win that game, with obvious reasons.
Yeah, give me that.
But who are you guys picking?
What's the spread on that?
ReChard?
I'm picking the Eagles. Eagles over under 43.5, -11. Eagles.
Yeah, see, we obviously know who will win, so we might as well. So is it in Philly? All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got Washington to cover, but I'll take the over. Here we go.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
I got
But I
Washington.
had to throw this one up.
Hey, Washington butt niggas, boy, them commandos. Washington butt. So look, the butt niggas gonna cover, but I'm gonna take the over. I got the Eagles beating the butt niggas. Yeah.
I got.
We're talking about changing the name. The Eagles. I got the Eagles winning that one too.
Yeah, I got the Eagles. I would be surprised if it's a close game after halftime. I'd be shocked.
They don't compete, but they're commandos. So
Yeah, I don't know. I am actually petitioning Washington to change the name to the Butt Nuggets.
commando.
I'm
Rashard, like, what are you? Rashard looking for the disclaimer for us.
I was gonna try to type earlier.
Right, he said, why we got a disclaimer?
Figure that.
Yeah, you've been saying it all week. You've been fine. I got you, baby. I got you. Fly, Eagles fly. I'm sorry. There was one more game I did want to talk about. The one tonight. I think it's going on right about now, and that's the 49ers and the Chargers.
Yeah.
San Francisco's favored to win that game. Chargers are 5-3. San Francisco's 4-4. ReChard, who you picking in that game?
San Fran. I just
Yeah.
don't. The Chargers are like. I like their team, but I don't think they are living up to their potential. I think that the 49ers are probably so excited that these boys are coming back. Win or lose tonight, the fact that these boys are coming back, they know what's in front of them. Everything they can get to the playoffs. They're not struggling. They can get to the playoffs.
Right.
I just think San Fran is just going to kick it up a notch and maybe steal the game, maybe by a field goal or so. But hey,
Yep,
Okay.
I agree. I got 49ers winning. They actually lost their last 5 to the Chargers. Last 5 games they played against the Chargers, they lost. But I think they break that streak tonight with everybody coming back. 49ers play real good in prime time. So I will take the 49ers to win that game too.
Okay. I think we're all in agreement on that one. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a real quick break, and y'all know how I do my breaks. We're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to be back with more Hey Coach. Welcome back as the crowd goes wild. We got some more Hey Coach. Yo, I'm like a kid that can't store my toys over here, yo. I'm loving this thing. But hey, we're back with more Hey Coach. I am one of your hosts, Coach T. I am still rocking and rolling with Jay Mondaine and ReChard Collins. Gentlemen, let's get into a little bit of college football. Okay. Now I don't know about you, but this season, I don't know what's going on with sports this year. 2022 has been just, I don't know what is going on with sports. I don't know what's going on with football. I think baseball was the only one that really, kind of resembled an actual great season as far as what things have been going on. Football's been crazy. The NBA's been crazy. College football, as we're about to get into right now, is been crazy this season. I don't know what to make of everything that's going on right now. So let's talk about yesterday's games. Okay. We can talk about the Ohio State Indiana game, which we're not, because Ohio State just slapped the mess out of Indiana 56-14. They Will Smith them. But there were some close games that I really did not think were going to be close games. One in particular was LSU and Arkansas. That game LSU won 13-10. So Jade, what are some of your thoughts on that game?
It's an SEC game. Like, those games are always tough, hard-fought games, man. Arkansas was good at the beginning of the year. Then they took a couple tough losses, but they still got a good team. I like that quarterback. He's more of a running quarterback, but the defense, I didn't expect the defense to hold LSU to 13 because Brian Kelly got them scoring a lot of points. I saw what they did to Alabama. But no, it's a good game. I mean, SEC games can go either way. Like, you can get a shootout or you can get one of them grinded out games. LSU pulling it out, making a case for themselves in the SEC in Brian Kelly first year. So it's a good win for him.
Yeah. You have anything on that one, ReChard?
Yesterday I missed all the games. I didn't get off work till late. But that's a close game, the LSU Arkansas. That's crazy. I thought TCU would have blown Texas out. But like he said, you start talking about in-state rivals. It's not SEC, but you start talking about in-state rivals. The kid that got overlooked at Texas might be at TCU right now. Ball, kind of beating Texas. I thought they were going to blow them out.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, but I didn't know that Ohio State was undefeated.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize Georgia. Both of them are 10-0. Georgia and Ohio State.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I missed that. Michigan.
They got to run into Michigan at the end of the year. Ohio State, Michigan. So we'll see. One of them gonna lose a game because they got to play each other.
Because Illinois and Michigan play this week.
Yeah.
In the big house.
Yeah.
Illinois.
Now, another close game was that Notre Dame Navy game. Well, Notre Dame squeaked out the win 35-32. That was, to me, that was kind of crazy. I mean, yes, ReChard and I, we both served, and I watched the Army game yesterday. Go Knights. I watched them, and and I always root for. I find myself now. Now, before I didn't really care, but I find myself now. I root for the for Army. I root for Navy. I root for Air Force.
Air Force,
just
yeah.
because what I'm saying. Armed services. So I root for all of them. But the fact that they only lost by 3, I did not think Navy was actually balling like that.
Right, it's gonna be able to put up. Right, you got other stuff to be worried about.
I know. It's like, yo, man.
You know what I'm saying? You about to serve this country.
Get on this ship, man.
Yeah, you about to serve this country, man. That's the last thing I would have thought Navy did. But no, that's
off the ship and ball yesterday.
That's good. That's good stuff.
But no, and then you guys had mentioned earlier, or just a few seconds ago, Michigan. Michigan met up against the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
They got lucky, bro.
Who got lucky?
Michigan. We got something for them, Michigan. Man.
Lucky.
Michigan got lucky.
They got lucky. I can show you.
Right.
I told my boy last night who's a Michigan fan. Y'all got lucky.
Oh yeah. Well, 34-3 was the final. That's that game.
Real lucky.
Man, we spotted them 31. Man, we ain't worried about them.
It was very lucky. Yeah. Okay. Right. Roger that. Clemson ended up playing Louisville, and they won 31-16. Alabama barely got by Ole Miss 30-24.
I thought Ole Miss was gonna get them too, because Ole Miss was winning that game.
Yeah, they were. They were.
Alabama don't look like the same Alabama, man. They don't have that. They don't have that NFL wide receiver that they normally have. Like they don't have a Jerry Jeudy, a Devontae Smith. They don't have they don't have those dudes over there this year. They usually got like one dominant wide receiver, and their defense is usually really good. They don't got that for sure.
Bama does not have NIL money.
Yes,
like the state of Texas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Texas is gonna buy a national championship within the next 2-3 years. You ain't gotta lead the state no more. Hey, you stay right here.
But Nick Saban doing all that talking all summer, he should have been
that.
He should have been trying NIL.
Been more proactive with NIL.
He trying to fight with Jimbo Fisher all summer. You should have been NIL.
Like I said, hey, the receiver on Alabama, JoJo Earl.
Yeah.
My boy's son from college. Play for Bama.
Oh, that's what's
JoJo
up.
from Dallas.
He
should at this point he should have never left Texas.
Hey, he need to turn into Jerry Jeudy next year if they're gonna be good.
Man. Yeah, you have to.
He gonna have to.
This is like
now we're looking at the getting closer to the rankings now and the college and the playoff. So you got Georgia at 10-0, Ohio State at 10-0, Michigan at 10-0, TCU still at 10-0. Then you go Tennessee at 9-1, Oregon at 8-2, LSU at 8-2. The Trojans, they're falling at number 8. They're 9-1. Bama 9. They're 8-2, and Clemson round off the top 10, 9-1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's just say we take the next. We go next 5. Now the next 5, you got Ole Miss. They're ranked 11th. They're 8-2. UCLA's 8-2 at 12. Utah 8-2. I didn't even realize they still had a squad. Utah at 13, 8-2. Penn State, they still hanging around, 8-2. North Carolina, rounding out the top 15 at 9-1.
Yep.
Okay, so do we think do we honestly think that the top 5 is pretty much going to stay the same the rest of the year, at least until Michigan and who was that?
Ohio
State meet up later. Yeah. So, is it safe to say the top 5 is going to pretty much stay about the same?
Go ahead, ReChard.
I say for the most part, 5 and 6 still have a chance. 1 through 4 better not lose another game.
Yeah, it depends on the rest of the schedule. TCU can run the table. I don't know who else they got left. They played K-State already. They played Texas. Oklahoma ain't no problem. Oklahoma State ain't a problem. So I think they can run the table and win the Big 12 championship. I don't see anybody extend their way.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia got to play in the SEC title game. They know who to play in the SEC title game, and then you got Ohio State and Michigan. So any of them can lose a game, and that's how college is. Basketball or football. It's not who you lose to; it's when you lose.
Yeah.
It's win, and then in college football, it's how bad did you get blown out?
Yeah.
Yeah, but let me see. Even if you lose and you get blown out, like Oregon, like Georgia smacked Oregon, but it was the first game of the season, and now look where Oregon at. What they 8th? You said 6. See, they got an outside track to get in the college football playoff. TCU lose next week, and Oregon win.
TCU lose, they're done.
And Oregon win the Pac-12. They slide in there, and they lost the first game of the year to Georgia by like 40. So I mean, it ain't even about getting blown out. It's when you lose these games.
I agree.
Yeah.
You got anything, ReChard?
No, like I said, top 4. They gotta win this thing. Yeah, that's just how shaky college football is. Because y'all say it just depends on when you lose, and I've always had that mindset of don't get blown out. You got these judges. All of a sudden, somebody got snubbed, and now you're not in the top 4. Now you're number 5.
You got to get them style points.
That's what it is. Stop. Yeah.
That's what they do. Like Georgia, Alabama used to do it. Like they play.
Yeah. How easy do they make it? Just like Steve Spurrier used to do it. Beat the hell out of people.
You play one of these directional schools, you beat them by 60 points. That look good.
Steve Spurrier screwing that thing up, man. They don't want to do handshakes after the game because I was already up by 42 in the third quarter. Now you'd have put on your 5-star third-string quarterback out of California. He in here throwing 21 points. Right. I know.
Hey. You don't want to get beat that bad. Do better.
Yeah, you're right.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, definitely. You got to do that. All right, so let's switch it up a little bit. Let's move from college football. Let's transition over to a little college basketball because it's back. That's right. College basketball is back, baby. And it's in full effect now. There was some pretty decent games that been
good game yesterday. It was a real good game yesterday.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of
the Gonzaga played on the Air Force Base. Y'all didn't see that?
Right.
They played outside on the Air Force Base. Yeah.
I did not get a chance to see that.
It was a real good game.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you talking about the aircraft carrier?
Aircraft carrier. Yeah.
I was like, damn, they was at a base. Yeah.
The aircraft carrier outside.
No, you threw me out. I'm looking like.
Y'all know the terminology. Y'all are military.
No. You threw me out because I'm looking like.
Look, they played on that little floating helicraft from the Avengers. They played on that.
They played on the aircraft carrier. I was just like,
they played on that plane that floated in the sky on the Avengers. They put a court thing. That's what they played. Yeah. It was a good game though. I didn't think Michigan State was that good this year. They only lost by 2. It was a really good game. They lost on the game winner. Like they missed the game. They missed the game winner. Or game time shot. Yeah, that was a good one, man.
It was pretty. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch the game. I had some other stuff going. I had not had a chance to really watch any basketball, college wise, and
it's all right. I got you.
But yeah, so I've been So I'm trying to get myself. I'm trying to get things because the thing is, I'm trying to get my schooling stuff ready to go. They done messed up on my stuff. So now I gotta get some more paperwork in, and I gotta jump through some more hoops. And it wasn't completely the VA. It was the school had sent the wrong information, and then they sent the wrong information about my degree program and this and that. So I've been literally jumping through hoops since last Tuesday. So
I got to do all that tomorrow, Tim.
Yeah, you know how
I'm supposed to start next Monday with no internet.
It's all good, man. I got y'all. The civilian got y'all. Don't worry about it. The civilian got you. Don't worry about it. Thank you guys for y'all.
You know what? And we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you, brother.
Take care of y'all. But yeah, it was some good game. Michigan State, Gonzaga was probably the marquee game when they was on the Avengers hovercraft. Lost by 2. And then this week is the Champions Classic. So you got Kentucky play Michigan State, and then Kansas and Duke play on Tuesday.
What are they in New York, Madison Square, or no?
No, they're in Indianapolis.
Okay.
They're in Indiana. So that'll be obviously the double header will be the games of the week.
Gotcha.
Hey,
The one in New York is coaches
Kentucky
versus
won.
cancer, right?
Yeah, that's coach. That's
Yeah.
regard
Yeah.
coach versus cancer.
Yeah.
They do that one.
Kentucky won Friday, ReChard. They won
So
77-52.
All the big schools won. And I like what they're doing. So you remember the last couple of years they did that Champions Classic. It's the first game of the season. I like that they give you these 2 games before that Championship Classic, kind of get everybody revved up to play this game.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like that. I mean, I think it's a good advantage for all 4 teams. So like Duke played 2 games. They played like Jacksonville State, and they played some high school out of North Carolina. But it got them revved up and ready to play on Tuesday, so I'm good with it.
I like it. I like
High
it.
school.
I like the conference championships when they do Big Ten versus somebody, SEC versus Big East. I like when they do that.
Yeah, ACC Big Ten
Okay.
Classic. That's coming back.
So let's make some predictions. Let's make some too early Final Four predictions. Okay. Let's get that going here. So who do you think is going to be in the Final Four? We'll start with you, ReChard.
Carolina, Gonzaga, Kansas. If U of H gets there, that'd be amazing. And a dark horse would be Baylor. So I go UNC, Gonzaga, Kansas, and Baylor. Kentucky's not going to pan out, and I'd be surprised if the U of H was to make it. But they number 3 in the nation.
Okay.
Yep. Too early Final Four.
It's very
You said say that one more time for me. I'm gonna write this down.
North Carolina,
Okay.
Gonzaga, Kansas, and Baylor.
Baylor. Okay. All right. What you got? What you got? Rock and roll.
Those are good picks. Yeah, I would say Gonzaga. I mean, I don't know how many more years of eligibility Drew Timmy got. This dude like 25. This dude still, he just won't go to the league. He don't want to leave Gonzaga. So he's still there. So I'll say Gonzaga can get to a Final Four. Carolina brought everybody back from that team last year, Baycott and all them, so they can come back. Carolina. Tech, I like Texas Tech. They got a good team. They got a good athletic team. That'd be my dark horse out of the Big 12.
That would be a dark horse. They 25 in the nation. That'd be interesting.
I can see them, but they win in that Big 12 conference, man. They know how to win games there. So I say they'd be the dark horse.
Gotcha.
So what I say Carolina, Gonzaga, Texas Tech, and then I don't know who I'll pick as a 4th.
Don't forget you still got Duke.
Yeah, Duke is real young. KU, I don't know if they can get back. Kentucky, I'll say Kentucky. If Sheway healthy, hey, that boy All American off the rip. So I'll say Kentucky, man. I mean, you don't want to give them too much high expectation, but they brought everybody back. I know they got to be pissed off after that first round exit, so they're gonna come out hungry.
Hey man, my boy bullshit up the other day talking about St. Peter's. I just said, man, boy. I got to the real sports fans, man. They don't let me make it at all. That boy just told me that the other day. I'm like,
I'll give them the nod to be motivated, man. I'll say Kentucky, Gonzaga, Carolina, and Texas Tech to be the dark horse. I'll go with them.
and he an Illinois fan too. I said, y'all better win the whole thing. I don't want to hear nothing.
They're gonna be nice this year too.
They said they got some young studs on there, man. I was reading the text message. My boys was talking about it. I'm like,
Look, me and my wife was on a date night Friday, and they had Illinois was playing UMKC, Kansas City. Man,
my boy coach. I told you, Tim. My boy coach there.
Yeah, they beat
Yeah,
them.
He used to be the head coach. Kareem
by
Richardson.
like 50 points.
He at NC State now.
They beat them by like
Right.
55 points. I'm like, man, why is they playing them?
Yeah, I heard that was. I heard
They
that.
need to feel it. They need to feel it.
Yeah, that'd be who your four,
Uh,
Tim? Who your four,
Yeah,
Tim?
okay. So here's my 4. I'm going UNC. I think for all the reasons that Jay said. I mean, they brought the team back. I think that gives them a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna say it gives them a little bit of edge, but they have a lot, a little bit more experience as far as that's concerned. They've played together. They got a little bit more cohesion going into the season. I think they're going to be tough to play. Definitely Duke. I like that team. Baylor, Baylor, because I definitely agree with ReChard on that one. And ReChard, I'm gonna have to do it, man. I know, man, but you know what?
I know you don't want to put that
we're
bad
not as
juju on them, man,
invested.
but they look nice, man. They look
Yeah,
nice.
we're not as Jay and I are not as invested.
You want to talk about who's going to put some people in the league? We can do our top 3 cats that go to before people go to the league.
But see, Jay and I are not as invested, so therefore we're not as disappointed if they don't make it. So I understand how why you have some reservations about it, but they are a good looking team.
I think
And I haven't been able to really say that about the Kentucky program. They've had some good players, but I think an overall team, they're solid. They're a good looking team.
No, they're solid. My thing is what I told my boys that are Illinois fans. I just want my team to be relevant every year. Only one team can win it. As long as my team's at least relevant and we got a number by our name at the beginning of the season, I'm fine, bro. I can root for a product that's doing something. I get disappointed every year. Can't win nothing. Then these bastards go to the NBA and become Devin Booker and goddamn Big Cat and Anthony Davis and John Wall. Don't even get me started.
They got to grow up, man. Y'all get a bunch of freshmen and they leave. That's all. They ain't kids. They still kids. That's why.
That's why what you said. The fact that they coming back.
Yes.
Everybody didn't just jump and try to go to the league.
That's the reason I'm picking them. Like, if you notice, the teams I picked to go to the Final Four are all veteran teams. Like,
you don't get that no more.
Right. Obviously, I'm a Duke fan, but it's 7 freshmen. We got 4
sophomores and up.
Undergrads, like not undergrads, but what they call them. They did 4 years. They did their 4 years, but they came
grad students.
So we got 4 grad students. And then we got a couple juniors and sophomores, but 7 freshmen, a brand new coach, a rookie head coach. So it's like, I'm going to temper my expectation. I think we'll be good, but Final Four, I won't give them the nod for that. For too early Final Four prediction, I'll go with them.
That's a heck of an early Final Four prediction. I'm like, God damn.
After 2 games, yeah, I'll go with the veteran teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes, I mean, that's just the best way that you can actually really go with is teams that you can actually trust. But you never know. One of these young Thundercat teams come up. You know what I'm saying? They got a coach that's just excitable. You know what I'm saying? Helps push them forward. You never know.
Shaka Smart.
Like we've always said though, this is why we play the game.
Hey, I'm hoping, man, I'll give me a back-to-back Final Four T-shirt for the Blue Devils.
Come on, man. Shaka
My
Smart.
Blue Duke, man, get us some shirts.
All right, so let's skip over to the women's side now, though. Let's skip over to the women's side.
Don Staley.
Yeah, hey, it's hard to go against. It's hard to go against the way they doing anything. But so who are your predictions for the women's Final Four? We'll start with Jay. We'll start with you this time.
So the women's side, obviously, you got it's going to be the Don Staley Invitational. South Carolina game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say them. I don't know about UConn, man. Their best player is tore ACL. Paige Buckets. She tore ACL, so she ain't playing this year, but we'll see how good they are. I would say that Stanford, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Louisville, actually. Louisville girls are nice too. I would go with them. That'd be my.
Okay. What you got, Rashard?
I go with I already said Don Staley.
Right.
Stanford's program is decent right now. I'm going to go ahead and throw UConn in there.
You can't count out Geno.
You
Right?
can't.
Yeah.
You can't count out Geno. You can't count out the talent pool that's coming through there that's been sitting there waiting their turn for a year or two.
Can't count out Don Geno.
You know what I'm saying? So South Carolina, Stanford, UConn, and I'll say Tennessee. Texas is up there, but I'm going off of tradition. Like, y'all rank because you just happen to get a top young lady that's, is she a guard? Is she a power forward? Or you going off tradition? Look how deep UConn's teams have been, and look how quick it was for me to say South Carolina. Don rolling out there, bro.
Yeah.
She got it going.
Yeah, she rolling out there. The best moment I ever had watching college basketball, Don Staley played the USA Dream Team or the USA team. But when I was stationed at Fort Jackson, I know I said it before. I got to see her coach Pat Summitt in South Carolina. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don Staley coaches and Pat Summitt, he was just a goat.
Yeah, Pat Summitt was, hey, man. That woman.
Pat Summitt coach. I thought the lady just sat down the whole time and didn't really do nothing. But that's the same way when I first saw Coach K. I'm thinking he just sitting down the whole time. Man, that man was on it. I'm like, I didn't think he was really invested like that. I thought he kind of just Phil Jackson it the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, I think in women, for what he's saying, I think in women's basketball, it ain't gonna be that big of an issue, that NIL thing, because the girls got to stay 4 years anyway. NIL is an issue when you got players that can leave early, right? Yeah. So in men's basketball, NIL is gonna hit hard because you can buy a player for 1 year and try to build you a national championship. They can dip out. Don't got to go to class, nothing. For the women, they don't leave early. So
they don't leave early, and it's not even a negative thing. But you just don't hear
exactly.
You don't hear no one. I don't know a one and done women's college basketball player that went to the WNBA and just Kobe Bryant.
I don't know anybody that was a freshman that could have went. Like maybe Asia Wilson. Maybe that's about it in recent memory. Maybe Asia Wilson. Yeah. She played for the Vegas.
I mean,
Brittany probably, but Brittany wasn't really Brittany until
until
she was tall. But Asia Wilson, she lost some money. Yeah, but I say that because for Don Staley, she has a pipeline. She got a system of girls that come through there, women that come through their school, and I don't think the NIL portal is gonna sway women like it does men. The women want to win and they want to go to school because they know they can't leave early. So we here anyway. So I take your NIL money, come to school. What if I don't like it here?
Right.
And I'm here, and then I got to transfer, and I don't think a lot of women want to go through that. Young women. Yeah. I think it'll hit the men's college basketball a lot harder than women's college basketball, but time will tell. I think when you got a program like Don Geno up there in Storrs, Connecticut, when you got what Don got going on in the South, you still got Tennessee being Tennessee. I don't see anybody. Stanford got it out west.
Yeah.
I don't really see anybody trying to go. I don't see a lot of young women getting together like, hey, we can all get this NIL money and go to UCLA. I don't see that happening. So.
I'm right there. I'm right there with you. You can't really, argue too much with that. It's not going to be a problem for the women's side as much as it's going to be for the men's side, but it is what it is. All right, so my four pick. You got Louisville, the dark horse. Stanford.
Louisville, man, tell you, Louisville got a nice program.
Well, Louisville is one of the ones I've also picked. it's hard to go against Don. I mean, what she's doing. I mean, hey, and you don't really want to go against UConn, but at the same time, I don't know if they're going to have enough. So I don't know.
If they had Paige Buckets healthy, it would be a UConn South Carolina national championship.
You got to look at the parallels, man. Them two squads reload every year. Look how Tennessee slipped after Pat. They didn't go away; they slipped. Notre Dame had their little runs.
Mm-hmm.
Stanford can't get over South Carolina or UConn. Stanford's women's program is solid, but then when you beat one of them two squads, and then they get blown out.
But that's why I pick them to go to the Final Four, because they'll come out of the West.
Yeah, they're gonna come out the pack, whatever 21, whatever damn teams they got in the pack.
They'll be in the West region, and they can get a nice little run to the Final Four. I'm surprised Kev didn't have South Carolina in there, but I mean, you can't argue with the four that he got.
No. But so I have South Carolina, Louisville. But I think they're pretty solid. Stanford. I just watching them play. It's just Now I do have a dark horse because I've been able to watch these women play their last two games. And it just happened. They happened to be on. I clicked on them and I watched them. Watched their head coach, and I became a little bit of a fan, and that's Notre Dame.
Okay.
Olivia Miles is a boss lady. If you have not had a chance to watch her play, this girl is nice. Her vision is unbelievable. She plays the point. Her vision is unbelievable. Footwork is just incredible. She can shoot the three. She can drive to the basket, and she leads that team extremely well. And then they got what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. Mabry. I think it's Daria Mabry.
Okay.
That chick can shoot from almost half court. I mean, they've got, and the thing is, it's not just that they've got length. They're tall. They've got a pretty good team. And I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna. I would love to see them make a Final Four, maybe make a run for a championship. But I think that if teams are not careful and they keep continue to click the way they're clicking and they really catch on fire at the right time, that could be a team that could be very dangerous. I'm not saying they're gonna be South Carolina.
Somebody could get that.
I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I'm saying is, I think they could be one of those teams that, they might fall in the middle of the pack and then make a run, tournament time. But I've become somewhat of a Notre Dame women's basketball program fan after watching them play their last two games. I just love the way they play. And like I said, Olivia Miles is that girl can go. That girl can go. And that's all I got to say about that. That girl can go. So, you good on that one, ReChard?
Yeah.
Too early, but we got him in.
Yeah. It's too early, but we throwing them in there. We throw them in there.
No,
I got them written down. So when we get to that point, you know what I'm saying? When we get to that point, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Yo, that.
Yeah, she can be good out west. We'll see. She got representation.
Pac-12. Yeah, go ahead. Look it up.
Still got to go through Stanford.
True. Go through Pac-10, but hey, she might be nice. She might be an All-American or Player of the Year candidate.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is that team.
Yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a real quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna wrap the show up talking a little bit of NBA news.
Yes, sir.
All right. So y'all make sure you stick around. We got more Hey Coach right after this. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to the Hey Coach Show. I am Coach T, still rocking and rolling with Jay Mondaine and ReChard Collins. Gentlemen,
Yep.
how are we doing so far?
Good.
Doing good.
Good.
You close it
All
out.
right, that's
Finish
what's up.
strong.
We about to finish this bad boy up strong. We about to get into a little bit of NBA news. Now, I need water here to sip. Hey, where's my personal assistant at? Where's my yak at? Anyways,
Oh wow. We on drink champs. Let's go on and get it.
You say, wow.
I can go ahead and give you the Kanye version of the hey coach. Go ahead, let me go ahead and get loose.
You say, wow, you gave me the green light.
A solo cup. Yeah, let's get this man.
Yeah, okay. Anyways,
So
let's go ahead and talk about this, get this out of the way. All right, so we all can agree the Brooklyn Nets have been not only disappointing, but somewhat of a poorly written, and I mean really poorly, sitcom that probably didn't make it 3 episodes. I'm not throwing up the disclaimer yet. Nobody's done anything too bad. It's coming though. I'm pretty sure it's going to come with this segment. But we can all agree that it's just been a disaster. From what's going on with the team in general, players not really playing. It seems like they're disengaged when they are on the court. There's no cohesion whatsoever. Then they let the head coach go, and then we get the stuff with Kyrie, and the documentary. I guess my issue is I guess I'm still trying to figure out why they're making him go through all this stuff. He did what they asked him to do. And he didn't apologize right away. Okay, we can say that. He didn't apologize right away. But how do you think the handling of that by the Brooklyn Nets and the NBA, or the NBA in general, how do you think that affects things moving forward in some of the other issues that might be coming up later, not just with the Nets, but with just any team in general? What do you think some of the downfall could be from that? Jay, we'll start with you.
With the way they handling it, I think a lot of the players are starting to speak up. They're basically trying to put Kyrie in this. They're trying to basically emasculate him. I mean, let's call it what it is. They got this list of demands. It's basically a list of demands the NBA got before he can play again. And today, even Joe Tsai was saying if he doesn't, or Sean Marks, the GM, if he doesn't reach these list of demands, or if he doesn't do these assignments by Tuesday, he's going to be suspended for that game too. It's like he apologized. He talked to the commissioner. He talked to owners. He talked to other commissioners. They don't think he's anti-Semitic. He made a mistake. He posted it. He shouldn't have. We talked about it last week about he's just the way he's going about questioning things in this world is wrong. We understand that. He lost his endorsements for it. He lost his, losing his life. I don't think he should lose his livelihood for it. I mean, Don Imus didn't lose his livelihood for what he did, but I digress. But yeah, so it's just like he said what he said. He's not hurting the brand of the NBA. Like even other players are siding with him. Like we even think this is a little bit extra. LeBron even came out and was like, he did something wrong. He shouldn't have did it. But I mean, he's listed the bans they got. Like he basically being held hostage. If you don't do these things or else. I think it's a little crazy, man. I think they try to go overboard and they try to make an example out of him. So that's where I'm at.
ReChard?
Well, yeah, they try to make an example out of him. But you got to think this is almost a first-time situation to this extent. So there is really no blueprint.
Right.
Yes. There's a there's an idea, but there's no blueprint. But it's amazing when you make as much money as them. I don't feel anybody should be able to tell me how I should apologize, how I should think, and how I should do stuff.
Right.
But when you start messing with generational wealth behind you, just kind of like, all right, look, like I said, I don't even know if the dude even saw the show. I think he just
I think it was impulsive. He just
right.
And now he's getting backlash for it.
And then the checklist is kind of like, hold on, man. The player association. This is where I'm going to go with it. The player association has to be careful because this could be you in 3 years. You just said something, and y'all done voted on it. But this should happen punishment-wise, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So y'all gotta. You can get on your own Twitter and all that, and be like, nah, this dude was wrong. My wife is Jewish, and I ain't gonna look at him the same. You can do all of that. When it comes to the player association, oh man, you gotta kind of like chill out. But Kyrie, I don't know if y'all remember this. He was supposed to meet with somebody last week. He sent somebody else to the meeting.
Yeah, and that's why he got suspended because of that.
Like, bro, you already traveled for the NBA. Even if you go in the meeting and act a whole fool, you're there.
Right.
Why are you sending somebody else? And then it's the whole holier than thou. You smarter than everybody in the room. You got some old clever, that's a bar type stuff coming out your mouth. And now look at you. Nike was like, well, we'll holler at you. You go ahead and wear these kangaroos like Walter Payton next season, homeboy. I mean, like, you gotta. It's not even no sellout stuff. You gotta be smart. That Nike money is generational for your kid. Just that alone. You can be the most militant dude, but you gotta be smart, bro. You look at how these two dudes and just got stuff taken from them, just like that.
Yeah, they didn't drop him though. Like they used this term with us, this suspended indefinitely, man. Like, what does that even mean? And then the NBA talking about you got to take sensitivity training. Like they getting to a point where it's like it's getting real Roger Goodell-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like, these punishments don't fit the crime, and it's so inconsistent. Like with what happened with my man in the elevator with his now wife,
Ray Rice.
And then you go over here and you got some other domestic stuff. Like the punishments don't fit the crime.
No, they don't.
Same.
It's a racial.
Like I know there's no precedent for this in the NBA, but you got to be careful with these list of demands. He got to take sensitivity training. Like, really, come on, man. Like, the kid has never done anything. He's never been arrested. He's never been thrown in jail. He has no criminal.
Different stuff. But the funny thing is, Jay,
it's crazy.
The funny thing is, the Jared Allens of the NFL, cokehead. You don't hear them blaming that dude about being that.
That's what I'm saying. Like
it is what it is. We all know what it is. Now, especially with these podcasts, and now Magic gave him the blueprint to become a businessman. Jordan didn't give nobody no blueprint to be a businessman. Jordan just rocked with his shoes, and I don't know what else he does. Magic shows that. LeBron comes and does his thing, right? So now these boys got a platform. I'm a millionaire, billionaire. I got a voice. I can walk away from this game right now, and I'm good. So now the fact that we as people got a voice, they man like, oh my God, I can't believe Draymond's in the season and he has a podcast. He's talking. Draymond ain't flying to Paris to go kick it with his boy or nothing, and then came back that his boy that plays overseas and they off for 2 days. He's not doing nothing like that. He's dude sitting in front of a microphone doing the same thing we doing. Oh my God! And he's on the podcast.
Why not? He know the game better than anybody else doing a podcast. So
right. Like why are y'all mad that this dude is talking?
Right.
The dude ain't leaving. He didn't leave
Yeah, it's
The
like what even
country.
got me with that was like sometimes he was at home, sometimes he was in the hotel room whenever they were
That's it.
traveling.
I've heard them say something about that. I'm looking like, do you know what he could be doing?
Could be out in the club, could be out
He
in
could
the
be
club.
out.
doing
You
stupid
damn
stuff.
right. I done already made that phone call to the wifey. You're right. I'm in the league.
It's a threat. It's a threat to them because it's empowering. That's what it is. We all know what it is. It's
They got
empowering.
that platform. And
Yes.
they
If you think about it like this, we all sports junkies. We watch sports all day, every day. No matter what it is. When you have an actual player that can dissect the game the way we want to hear it, get on a podcast. What's that gonna do to the ESPNs, the Fox Sports? What's that gonna do to them? You already got knuckleheads. You already got
drink champs, not drink champs, but knuckleheads and all the smoke.
You got all the smoke. You already got athletes that have their own thing. You know what I mean? You got Chandler and
you got the one on the bus.
yeah,
D-Lad. You got the football players
that got their own podcast. Now you got an active NBA player that can speak in complete sentences. Is eloquent. He know how to articulate what he's trying to say. He know how to explain the game to people. And we interested in it. It's empowering. And they don't want that.
You know, like he's at the club at a booth with noise in the back. That man, like Tim just said, that man is at home or his hotel room. Like, y'all got a problem. So they screwing over Kyrie, but I'm thinking of it a whole different way. Like, bruh, you can be so don't screw your family over money-wise, bro. You good, but we talking about generational, not just your son and then your grandkid. Man, you're talking about a black version of the Walmart version.
But I don't think he went in it. I don't think he went into it thinking he was going to lose all this.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, Kanye already showed you how to trick your money off.
Right.
He gave you the blueprint.
I don't think it was like, man, I'm gonna risk it all with this tweet. Like, I don't think
Kanye just showed you the week before how to trick your money off. Do not follow that damn blueprint, bro.
And my whole thing is,
man, like he a hostage at a bank or something. Like they got him for
like
ransom. His career, they holding his career for ransom, pretty much.
Brittany Griner.
That's what I hate about the whole situation is that's what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? And like I said on one of our other episodes when we talked about when this first came out, my only problem is, Kyrie, seriously, you couldn't think to just ask somebody first before you post something? Yeah. It's like I know, listen, and I know it's tough. I'm not gonna say I know it's tough, but I can imagine it's tough for these athletes, for these movie stars, people who are high profile people, that they can't just sit there and post whatever they want to, like the common Joe, because of what they, what somebody can say, the type of endorsements they can lose, what kind of could hurt their business. I understand that, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, you've got to remember that every single time you're doing something like, okay, I just saw this thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of questioning some things.
Right.
Hey, Jay, can I run something by you real quick, man? You know what I'm saying? Get the outside perspective, especially if you that type of dude.
From a PR team.
Do you have homeboys?
You need a PR team, man.
Do you have homeboys that can stop you? I mean, this is gonna be
that was a problem.
This is gonna be our
problem, maybe because they talk about his intellectual spiritual journey
because he wants to be the smartest dude in the room. Exactly. Prime example, off subject, Deshaun Watson. Where are your boys at to where you didn't put yourself in this position? You still got paid.
Up there with him.
You got paid. Right. Still got paid, but like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
I can go a whole nother angle. I think a lot of people let him get away with it until he couldn't get away with it.
Exactly.
He did this. He did it. He did it in the Texans facility. I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, he was all over the place. He was in Atlanta.
Right.
That boy was all over the place.
But the Texans was getting sued. Why?
The Texans, he did it. So 2 or 3 of the ladies were at the Texans. The rest of the 45, bro, that was Atlanta. That was California. Bro, you could have heard the stuff that was coming out of here. We're like,
it's nipped in the blood at work. I'm not.
We was like, come on.
I'm not giving him an excuse or quitting him. But
yeah.
If it's nipped in the bud, it wouldn't happen,
But as that famous comedian said, this is for Kyrie. when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah.
I'm being funny, but I'm being very serious though.
That's real talk. That's real talk right there. All right, let's get on to something. Let's get on to something a little bit more light, a little bit more better, so we can wrap this up. Jacques Vaughn. I mean, hey, right?
Took the interim.
Jacques Vaughn's not a head coach.
Love it.
Yeah, so I'm loving that too. I mean, he's a great. I'm not gonna say I've known him, but I followed him ever since he was at University of Kansas. You know, part of some great teams there. And he came out and he got drafted by, I think it was the Utah Jazz.
Or the Jazz, played the Spurs a little bit. Yeah.
So I mean, he had a pretty good. Yeah, he had a pretty good career. He's been an assistant for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see him getting this opportunity. This is this his second head coaching job?
Yeah,
Did he coach at Orlando?
He had the Orlando job that basically set him up for failure job. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
He had that. He should have got this Brooklyn job before Steve Nash. Like, he'd been with the organization for 6 years.
I almost forgot that he was with the organization until I see him staying in
Because you got Tim, you got to like he said, Kenny, you got to realize in the NBA and NFL, they'll scan the bench, and then you be like, "Hold on, that's Buddy, that's dude that played just like that." Like, do a lot of people know that? Do a lot of people know the Karan Butler's on the damn coaching staff in Miami? It's like, bro, it's stuff like that. Like, hold on,
he stayed with the organization.
Yeah.
Vaughn's there, or whenever I see Rod Strickland on somebody's sideline, I'm like, "Ooh, that's Rod."
Yeah, Rod.
You know what I'm saying? Whenever I see something, I'm like, "Yeah, Rod Strickland." Yeah, it's crazy, but they did him a nice favor. He's signed through the end of next year.
Yeah,
which I thought that was you don't really hear that. You hear he'll finish this season, even though it's the beginning of the year. You'll hear the end of the season, and that they paying him for this year and next year. I'm like, you know what? Somebody's like, oh, they don't trust him. If they didn't trust him, they wouldn't have gave him that. That ain't his money.
The reason they did it, if this stuff wouldn't happen with Kyrie, they would have got Ime Udoka. The reason they didn't hire Ime Udoka is because it was on the heels of this Kyrie stuff. If you introduce Ime Udoka, which you already know, and they already knew, like, we gonna get backlash for this Ime Udoka stuff.
Oh yeah,
but we can handle that. But then Kyrie did what he did. It's like, all right, that's way too much.
It's way too much. Right. That's way too much.
Media capital of the world.
Yeah.
We got the email on this side. We got the Kyrie on. That's way too much.
Yeah. You
Kevin Durant don't want to leave by Thanksgiving. We can't do that. So instead of doing that, they said Jacques Vaughn is the guy. He was already here. He in the system. The players love him. They played hard for him, as you can see. That game, when Jacques Vaughn got the interim tag, took off. KD went out and what he had 30, 12, and 12, 29, 12, and 12.
He had a nice game. I don't know the number. He definitely had a nice game.
They all looked happy on the bench. Like, you can see the morale.
Steph is back playing now. Yeah, man, this is a different vibe.
They look like they got a good spirit playing. Yeah. So that team, I feel like, will be able to handle getting Kyrie back.
Get him back.
But I don't think that team would have been able to handle Kyrie and Ime Udoka. Because when Kevin Durant when he come in the press conferences after the game, they're not going to talk about basketball.
No.
He will have to deal with Ime Udoka and Kyrie all season.
All season. I'm just going to have to get fined and not show up to the press conferences. Like, I got enough money. I won't be in none of these hoes.
So I think that's the reason. So that's the reason.
Take my money. I ain't coming to none of these hoes.
That's the reason they did it. I believe that.
Hey, Tim, I'll be on my burner account in about 30 minutes from my hotel when we get ready to get on this flight.
Hey,
all the way off.
Kevin talking about, hey, I'll just cash app you. What's the fine?
Man, I'm just here so I don't get fined, Marshawn.
That's what I think. But congratulations to Jacques Vaughn. Like, he got an opportunity. Let's see what the Nets can do with it through next year. They probably did that so they can look at Ime Udoka in 2 years, because, you know.
And let's be honest. Yeah. Let's be honest here. It's not that the roster for the Nets is a bad roster. They're not a bad roster. They're not a bad team, but they have just been so disconnected and dysfunctional.
When you dysfunctional, that's what I was gonna say. When you got that, bro, that right there, and you on that professional level, man, that's got to be crazy. Like he just said, the press conference ain't gonna have nothing to do with, man, y'all lost by 3. Oh, when's the last time you talked to Kyrie?
Exactly.
How you feel about the new coach that was here, and then y'all let him go to Boston, and now he's back, bro? That's what you about to hold a conversation about.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, the thing is, I don't know if there's much they can salvage this season, and maybe they could. Maybe this could be a turnaround point for them because, like I said, you still got Kevin Durant on the squad. If Kevin Durant is engaged and he's just going out to play ball, because we all know that's what he says. I just want to play ball.
Does.
You know what I'm saying? If he goes out and does that, there's not very many that can stop him.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You know, and then if you talk about if Ben Simmons is playing like he should be playing, you know what I'm saying? If he gets back to his defensive state that he used to be in, that makes that team really tough. You know what I'm saying? Because then you have somebody like Ben Simmons who's not taking no one's shots away. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, shots are about to go up.
Hey. I thought Randy Moss stole money for the Raiders. God, this dude here, he's got the best agent. He's got the best agent in the league.
But I mean, we can agree. I mean, they could. I mean, like I said, this could be the turning point for him. This may be the thing that really helps him out. I don't know. You know, the way, like I said, like we said earlier in the show, the way sports have been going this year, going into 2023. Fam, I don't know if we're gonna make it, man. I'm gonna have to go to these cornhole championships, man, because they might be better competition.
Man, I'm about to start watching pickleball.
Yes,
man. Hey, I'm about to start rooting for the cricket league, whatever league they got
cornhole
around this bad boy.
Get those cornhole championships up, yeah.
I'm telling you, fam.
Money. That dude's having a good middle school game in the NBA.
Yeah, it really is. All right. Hey, look, gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up. I want to thank you guys for joining this episode and for the fans that came on to watch us live and all the interaction. Thank you very much. Jay, do you have anything that you want to part with us?
No, man, just appreciate everybody watching the show. Season 3 is off to a great start. You know, we got some more stuff coming for y'all here in the future. Just keep checking us out.
Most definitely. What you got, ReChard?
No, same thing, man. I enjoy the Sundays. I enjoy them. Hopefully, I'll be here next Sunday if I ain't got anybody else's spot. But sports is interesting right now, man. Like you said, it's unpredictable as hell, man. You can't base it off college football. You can't pay, but damn sure can't base it off the NFL. NBA shaky. What Kyrie played? 8 minutes this season? Raggedy.
Hey, makes for good podcasting for us.
It does. It really does. It really does. Well, I don't really have much for you guys. Hold up, wait a minute. Hey, Ken, we appreciate that, fam.
Oh,
we
that's
appreciate that.
That's what we talk about, man.
Show,
household at a time.
Got on here.
Tell your coworkers.
Hey,
Tell your coworkers.
Where's Les been at, man?
One household at a time, baby.
Yeah, you said what, Kev? I mean, what'd you say, Tim?
Where's Les been at? Leslie?
Who you asking? Kev? Or you asking?
I'm asking you. Isn't Leslie one of yours?
No. Oh, see.
Close it out.
Yeah,
whatever. But all right, hey, we want to thank everybody for coming on for the show today. Tune in next week. We'll be back for more Hey Coach. I am Coach T, and we will see y'all later.
The name dropper. We gotta talk, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Who is that? Okay. All right, man.
All right,
How
sir.
did everything sound on your end?
It was good, other than the echoing. It was
You
straight.
still had to echo a little bit. There was a couple of times I heard it, but it was on my end. It was faint, but I could, like if there wasn't any real background noise or whatever, there was a couple of times I could hear it. So I don't know.
It worked out. I mean, it seemed like it went smooth other than that, so it's all good.
All right. Well, I think for right now, we're just going to stick with StreamYard because we seem to have less problems with it. And like I said, if things work out, we can get something. Oh, that's going to be on the blooper. Hey, we're still live. Hey, get out of here.
We are.